Hi, I'm John.
And I'm Corey.
And this is the Tiny Room Movie Review.
It's funny because, I'm going to stay the same way the entire out of every single movie, and then you change. Yeah, my resting bitch face.
And I don't want to be here. There's a rock in my shoe.
I gotta poop.
Hey man, you hear about the tiny room?
Whoa, shh. Today we're talking about Almost Heroes, directed by Christopher Guest in 1998, starring Chris Farley and Matthew Perry.
Almost Heroes is about an expedition to make it to the Pacific Ocean before Lewis and Clark.
Oh, sounds exciting.
Yeah.
So let's get straight to it.
I hope Satan himself burns the flesh from your miserable bones!
Good God, lady.
Ready?
Yep.
I take it, don't I?
Yep. And we're on. Starting with audio-visual.
Sick. Starting with audio-visual. This was a really good period piece. It was very reminiscent of the American frontier and stylized very well.
Yeah. Like one of the other movies that we reviewed, Wagons East. Like I said in that review, there was a backdrop, a wall. This didn't have it. It was out in the wilderness. Everything. I think it was a really good depiction, like you said, of the Wild West, or just like the western side of the United States. And I think they did a really good job with the camera crew and everything like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't know where I was going with that, and you were like really short, so I was like,
"Oh yeah, sorry."
I didn't know what else to say.
I didn't really have a whole lot to say about that part.
Yeah.
I name this here fort Pittsburgh Nellie. A Welsh whore who could do things with her one good arm that would make you forget that thing on her neck.
Moving on to acting, don't expect anything, surprising or groundbreaking. It's a goofy little comedy.
Yeah.
That said, if you're a huge fan of Chris Farley, he does his classic Farley bits. Something hilarious about him just getting thrown into a giant rage and yelling at everyone is somehow funny.
Yeah.
I definitely chuckled a lot at it. Matthew Perry, I think he does a pretty good job. I mean, he plays a good straight man kind of foil to Farley's character. And all the supporting characters were, pretty funny old frontier people. There's an old man in there that I think is just hilarious. It was pretty good.
Yeah, like being a parody movie, really. Chris Farley bits, I like him a lot. If you've ever seen Tommy Boy, Black Sheep, anything like that, or just anything with, literally you could go stare at Chris Farley and I feel like that's his bits.
You'll start to chuckle.
Yeah.
You'll just think about it and be like,
it was that. It was a Chris Farley movie, really.
Yeah.
Eugene Levy, I thought was pretty funny. He was supposed to be, a French, he was supposed to be like, oh yeah, I read your letter that you're versed in all the languages from here to the Pacific Ocean. He's like, letter? And it's just little bits like that. Eugene Levy's pretty good. He's a funny actor, in this parody. Matthew Perry does a really good job. In my mind, he's always Chandler Bing, But Matthew Perry does a really good job, like you said, of contrasting Chris Farley in this.
As far as plot structure, this movie was kind of lacking a little bit. I mean, it really is a vessel for comedic bits, which is fine, but there wasn't really much in the way of storytelling or some of the more, because they do kind of try and integrate more of a serious, I won't say drama, but they try and tell a good story of a rival to Lewis and Clark's expedition across America and their whole hey, we're charting things and we're running into trouble, but it was just kind of all over the place. Still good for the bits and the jokes, but overall story there wasn't much there.
Yeah. I don't know if you really could have made this honestly, if you they kind of allude to it in the movie. If you want to watch a Lewis and Clark, go watch a Lewis and Clark movie.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's tons of them out there, but yeah, I mean, this was just a gag. I don't know if the plot structure really if they would have done anything different. It's really just like if you like Chris Farley, if you like Eugene Levy, if you like Matthew Perry, then I mean, yeah, it's really just kind of like it seems like they picked these people and then here you go, here's a story.
Yeah.
And yeah, it worked.
Oh yeah, no, and don't get me wrong, it definitely worked for what the movie was supposed to be. It's a comedy.
Yeah.
But yeah, just don't expect anything too in depth or serious.
Yeah.
How about you get your own bottle?
Continuing on to engagement.
Cool. Ready?
Yep.
Continuing on to engagement. I chuckled. I laughed. There's some really good bits in this movie. I could watch most of these actors all day doing anything. They're just really good at what they do individually, and then seeing them interact with each other it was really fun. I will say though, there's some dull moments in this movie. There's some jokes that don't land, and I don't know. It wasn't the greatest comedy of all time. It's not like every scene is exciting and I was on the edge of my seat, but pretty decent film.
Yeah, I wouldn't say anything was really like over the top or just like it was engaging enough.
Yeah.
For a comedy. Nothing like I didn't really want more. I didn't want less. It was just kind of like not in a bad way, but it was just me.
Yeah. Cool.
Higgins, when I said your music would be a welcome companion, I didn't mean...
Don't you know any other goddamn tune? Huh?
Finally, would I recommend this film? I think I would, under certain circumstances. I wouldn't...
What?
Well, I will tell you. I think if you were having a rainy Sunday, you got a nice warm blanket, cup of hot cocoa, you were stoned out of your mind or hungover, maybe with a good friend.
Oh.
Not you.
Oh.
Then yeah, I mean, I think you'd enjoy it under the right circumstances. I wouldn't recommend this as a Friday night. Ooh, let's get the popcorn and enjoy a movie. But yeah, it's a good daytime flick.
Yeah, for sure. Like, like if you like Chris Farley, really, and Matthew Perry, just kind of doing some stupid shit, then yeah, I'd recommend it. But I mean, yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, there you go.
Good day. I bring you wishes for peace from Thomas Jefferson, the great chief of the whites. Ow.
You've insulted him.
Oh, right. All right. Now that you've heard from us, let's see how the tiny room feels. I'm going to redo that one. That was just gross. Almost Heroes. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Now that you've heard from us, let's see how the tiny room feels about Almost Heroes.
Caw-caw!
Well, there you have it. Thanks for watching, and let us know what you thought of Almost Heroes in the comment section below.
Also, let us know if there's any movies you'd like us to review in the future.
Tiny room.